Hi guys, so for my informative speech I chose a topic that's related to some of the things I'm learning about in my other classes. So I'm taking geology classes right now to be a geology major, hopefully in the future. So it's also kind of an important topic to our area, so it's really a good thing for you guys to know as well, so it's not going to be boring, hopefully. So I chose to talk about the Cascadia Subduction zone off of our coast. I know a lot of people have kind of heard of it, and some people are like, I don't really know what it is, so I thought it was a good topic for today. So we live 160 kilometers away from the subduction zone off the coast. So the subduction zone is where two plates are coming together, and the oceanic, or the Juan de Fuca is what it's called. The oceanic plate is sliding underneath of our North American plate, which is our continental plate that we live on. And it does it over a long period of time in slow bursts of movements. So what happens is that when over time the pressure builds up because the plate gets stuck, and when the pressure builds up enough, the plate slips and it pushes water up and the land moves up, so it creates a wave, and that's what causes the tsunami. I have a little diagram here to show you guys kind of what it looks like. So right here it shows it getting stuck and then it lifting and slipping and creating the earth or the tsunami. So that's kind of how that happens. So when that happens, it creates an earthquake, right? So the earthquake is going to be anywhere between an 8.5 and a 9.0. We know this because we've used the study of the earthquakes in Japan as a basis of it. Japan has had a really bad earthquake in the past that is almost exactly like what we're going to have here. So they have the same kind of deposits from water on land, and they have the same kind of plate structure off the coast of Japan. So they can use that. Sad, but we can learn from that experience that the people in Japan went through. So the shaking could last anywhere between 2 to 5 minutes. And I know we all just had the Great Oregon Shakeout not that long ago. So we all know that we're supposed to drop, cover, and hold, right? Because the building's integrity during an earthquake like that is gonna be tested, and we're gonna have to be in. If we're inside, we're gonna have to be underneath something because debris will fall. There's no question that stuff isn't gonna fall. It will fall on you, and it will either kill you or hurt you. So you need to make sure that you get underneath something to make sure that you are safe, or against an interior wall, because that'll keep you really safe too. It'll save your life. So the shaking is actually not going to be the type of shaking that you see in California, where it's like 30 seconds of really intense, like 5.0, 6.0 earthquakes that drop you to your knees. You're actually going to be able to stand and walk. So that's part of how it's going to keep you safe, is if you get underneath something, you need to move as fast as you can. We all know that when the shaking stops, we're not going to get a tsunami warning, right? Because we're not going to have a distant earthquake. It's going to be a local earthquake. We're not going to have a tsunami warning. We're going to have to go as soon as the shaking stops. So as long as you know that you will be safe if you get up and you move outside of the building, you need to get to high ground as fast as possible. That's your number one priority as soon as the shaking stops, is to make sure that you are safe enough to get yourself to a safer position. A really good place to know where you're going to have to go is to go to OregonGeology.org, and they have maps like this right here. So they're based off of TIM maps. They have a whole database for the entire Oregon coast. So the yellow area and the orange area is the inundation area, so it's what's going to be underwater when the tsunami hits. And all this green area is kind of what's going to be safe from the water, at least. So you want to make sure that you get to high enough ground that you are outside. There's one for South Beach, and it shows that the college is out of the inundation area, so we're in a safe spot in the college. The Juan de Fuca plate is actually, or the Juan de Fuca subduction zone, my bad, Cascadia subduction zone is actually 600 miles long. This picture right here kind of gives you an idea. There we go. So you can see the Juan de Fuca plate. It goes all the way from British Columbia up here, all the way down to like Eureka, California, so it's going to affect the entire Pacific Northwest. Like, everybody's going to be affected, and it's going to be all coastal areas and coastal communities, so being able to have the knowledge and know what's going to happen is kind of what's going to save people. You can pick up any one of these books at any Lincoln County, like sheriff's office or fire hall or anything like that. You can pick stuff like this up. They're really good to have because they're very educational. So like I said, when the shaking stops, get to high ground. The first wave could arrive anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes. I went to a Lincoln County emergency preparedness seminar thing for a class last week down in the community room at the college, and the lady that was doing it said that it could be 15 to 20 minutes. So that's actually a lot of time for you to be able to get to high ground to make sure that you and your family or your animals and your life is safe, that you can get somewhere and make sure that you're safe. The tsunami wave could be anywhere between 10 to 100 feet high, an average tsunami wave. The geologists are saying now that it might be anywhere between 50 to 100 feet tall, depending on the amount of movement that the Earth does. So that could be a really big impact on our coastal communities, because that's a big wave, right? Like, that's going to knock out buildings and tear down on cliffs and whatever. So it's going to really affect our coastal communities. And it could go anywhere between 20 and 30 miles per hour. The same seminar that I went to last week, we were informed that it could be even 50 miles per hour. So it's going to be like hitting a brick wall when it hits us. So make sure that you're out of the inundation area and get there as fast as you can. So the TIM maps are a really good option for people who need more information that they're not seeing here today. One of the things that I also wanted to show you was this right here. So this is a 9.0 earthquake. It isn't a catastrophic. That's the Japan earthquake in 2011 was a 9.0. That's how we know how much we're going to be affected, is because we know that this is going to be huge. And this is an 8.0, so you can see the difference between just like one level. Here's another map of the Horn de Fuca, and you can see the similarities between the Horn de Fuca and the Japan subduction zone. So you can, they really are using Japan as an example for us to be able to learn from and be able to be more educated on the subject matter, so we can keep the people in our area safe. Lincoln County actually has an amazing preparedness management team. So they are preparing for all kinds of things. I learned that we will be pretty taken care of. And so it's really important to be able to know what's going on. If you guys have any questions or anything for me, go ahead and drop them, and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. And if we have another informative speech, maybe I'll do the preparedness side of it. So thanks for listening, guys, and have a great night.